Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. Time to check in with Professor Jeff Stein at 1540 KXEL in Waterloo right now. Professor Stein, how are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm never as good as you, but I keep hoping.
Well, maybe someday we'll kind of work on that. But today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things that have some radio ties. We mentioned that you're at the radio station here because when you think of radio, you think of music, and that's what this is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's a stereotype, right? You remember it growing up. Parents complain about their kids' taste in music, then those kids grow up and become parents who complain about their children's music, but rarely does a sitting governor weigh in on the topic. But then again, Harold Hughes always did speak his mind. In a speech to the Iowa Bank Auditors and Controllers Conference at the Hyperion Club in Des Moines on this date in 1966, Governor Hughes said, direct quote now, Lou, "Our young people may wear their hair in weird fashions and listen to god-awful music, but then young people have always done things of equally ridiculous nature, and we have survived," end quote.
Yeah, we've all heard of that, but that seems a kind of an unusual message to be conveying at an event like this, but there was some method to his madness, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was some context there. Hughes went on to compare the anti-war sentiment of that current time with those past protests, and he noted America survived then too, so it would in the 60s. In a far-reaching address that in some ways telegraphed his later interest in national politics, becoming a U.S. senator and talked about as a presidential candidate, Governor Hughes did discuss local, state, and international issues. He said, if any place on the troubled earth has a bright future, his words again, it is this patch of good earth and God-given abundance that we call Iowa.
Now, that is a much broader message, no question about that. So why was so much attention paid to what he had to say about kids and the music?
Well, let's blame the Des Moines Register and their headline writers, because they focused on the comments about the god-awful music, put it right there in the headline in their story on Governor Hughes' speech, which was delivered on this date in 1966.
Well, when you were growing up, your god-awful music, what kind of god-awful music did you listen to?
Oh, I was total top 40 bubblegum rock and roll. That's the kind of music I played when I started in radio, so it was total, you know, whatever the music factories put out. How about you?
Yeah, the Monkees, Olivia Newton-John, and Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so a little
odd,
but that's like we normally do. Did things a little differently than everybody else, but you know, it really is you know, a testament to a governor standing up and being able to convey a message in a very unique way.
Yeah, and again, he was basically saying, don't panic. Kids have always done certain things. We were those kids. Everything will turn out fine. And ultimately, obviously, it did.
How about that? Now, people want to learn more about what's going on each and every day of the year with an Iowa connection, some Iowa ties and twists. Where can they go?
If you go to iowaalmanac.com, we refresh the story every weekday, photo, script, radio, all at iowaalmanac.com and on, I think now 30 radio stations across the state every weekday. But again, iowaalmanac.com.
All right, can we go back to that screen that we just showed up there with Professor Stein talking about, you know, if you know of a story that we should share. Professor Stein, how about this? We just mentioned the music that we were listening to. Did you realize, we mentioned Kiss, the band Kiss, the Kiss Alive album, the first one, part of it was recorded in Davenport.
That is amazing.
Did you know that?
I had no idea. And, you know, you go back on some of these, and again, the live album, the old days, we'd look at those liner notes to see what a great treasure to have memorialized, not just any Kiss album, but Kiss Alive 1.
Yep, it was recorded in July, and then it was released in September, so it was a quick turnaround. And speaking of radio, mentioned a couple of radio ties, and this is a radio tie that you are wearing.
I put on today one of my Rush Limbaugh ties, Lou, and the reason is it was on this date 1 year ago that the greatest talk show host in radio history, regardless of your political affiliation, you have to give Rush Limbaugh that. Rush passed away 1 year ago today, and certainly changed the dynamic for AM radio throughout this country with the career that he had. Really rescued the entire medium, if you think about it.
No, you're exactly right. I think you said it correctly when you said regardless of which side that you stand on, this guy here was an icon. He was a powerhouse, and I can't believe it's been a year already.
Well, you know, it's amazing. Person I used to work with who was left of center would come in after lunch grumbling because of something he'd heard on the radio. But he listened, and he grudgingly gave Limbaugh his due. He said, he's just so darn good, I have to listen. And that was a key to the success of anybody in this medium.
Millions of people miss him each and every day. But Professor Stein,
Yes,
we
sir.
thank you for your time here today, and we look forward to chatting again real soon.
Have a great day, Lou. Thanks a
All
lot.
right, you have a great day as well. And you folks have a great day, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it and then come back here and visit us tomorrow at 11:45 for another edition of Iowa Live. Hi, everybody. See you tomorrow.